How's it going, everybody? Uh, I have an Atari, and I found the RF switch to coaxial converter. I used to play this a lot in my childhood, right up there with the GameCube and the Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo. And I found it recently going through a relative's stuff. But I've figured out that some of the controllers, for most of them, if not all of them, don't work. I've gotten Super Breakout. That works fine, but I mean, that's just left and right on this paddle controller. But to prove to you that it doesn't seem to want to work right, I have got Donkey Kong. I found it in a selection of games, but I'm going to show y'all how it acts with the paddle controller and one of my joystick controllers. Let me cut it on. And hold on just a second. Let me try to put like that. I think that should have fairly decent connection. Hit or view, maybe. So the left button on the joystick on the paddle is the jump. While I hold it to run, that's up. But I can't seem to go left. And as you can see, the jumping is iffy. I gotta like press it in and down or something. And that's it. With the joystick, it doesn't, as you can see, it work very well, and it is very iffy with the paddle. Now, those of you that know are probably going, "Oh, well, it was originally with the joystick, or maybe the joystick will work better because the paddle controller was designed for Super Breakout." Give me a second and I'll show y'all what it's like with the joystick controllers. And this is a continuous thing with all of the joystick controllers. I can't go left in Pac-Man, but I can go up and right. To prove that this, or I don't know, it's prove or show, to show y'all that the joystick controller also won't work 100%. In fact, this one works less than the paddle controller, the turn dial, whatever you want to call it. Let me cut it on. And one thing you'll notice pretty quickly is this one, when I press the buttons, it actually causes a distortion effect, like that, and it jumps whenever I do up or down, or even when I hit the button. And I'm not completely sure what to do to run or climb the ladders in the game. I can't go left, and I just hold the button to run, and that is iffy, as you can see. All I can really do is hop and run and then the game resets, or I lose a life once the barrel hits me. Let's just test this right here. And hey, I know y'all can see it better, because I can see it better for one. Zoom in real good and shit. Alright, so I know y'all can see it better, because heck, I can see it better. But what I've actually got is a couple small screwdrivers for like glasses and things like that, and one of those angled pairs of tweezers for more precise jobs when it comes to getting screws or splinters or anything like that, really. I just found these around the house, but hey, I know if I can see it when I zoom in, y'all can see it for sure. I'm gonna use this, put it right under the lamp right here. Sorry about that, dropped the dang screwdrivers. So let me get it right here under the lamp. There we go. Had to find a good purchase spot. Now, this is going to be slow going as far as me unscrewing the screws, because I forget I drop them and then they roll across the floor and get very difficult to find. You see if it'll fall out in my hand. It did. That is a long screw. But I'm gonna just go ahead and drop it in this little red Solo cup I had. See, so I got that one. Let's see about this one. There it is. Now I've got a Q-tip, a thing of Q-tips. I've got these three tools, and I've got two different kinds of isopropyl alcohol. I've got a little bit of 91% left, and then about half a thing of 75%. Now, personally, I prefer the 91% because it's got a good bit less water content, so it dries quicker. But regardless of which one I wind up using, I'm going to try to let it dry like all night tonight if I can. And then I can try to plug it in sometime tomorrow. And I can do another upload rather, on a video showing if it will cut on after I tried cleaning it and gave it some time to dry. Yeah, I'm looking at it, so it's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. You know what, let me zoom this on in further so I know everybody involved can see it better. That's a little bitty Phillips head. There we go. Now I know this is going to be wet. You might be saying, oh, but this is way too close. Well, if it's close enough that I can see it to get the screws out good, then it's dang sure close enough that y'all can watch me get the screws out and see what is inside the Atari controller and how bad it may or may not be. Now, like I said earlier, bear in mind, I don't know if this thing has been opened at all in the past 40 years. At least I would assume 40. It's up there, because I know I used to play the Atari when I was younger. Will it come out now? No, it will not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait, and I'm going to come back to it once the other screws are out good or out more, and hopefully the tension is pulled off of that one to make it easier to come out. Because, like, see this one? This one just backs out real easy. Will it drop into my hand? No, not yet. Alright, let's back it out a little more. Will it come out now? I'm trying not to drop it out or have it pop out and go flying if I can help it at all. Pretty sure this is the right size, or real close to it at least. It wiggles. It is backed out pretty far, I would think. Will it drop out? Oh, there we go. Let me see, does it look like it's stripped or anything? No, I see ridges. In the cup it goes. Oop. Sorry about that. Almost knocked over the tripod. I know, it's probably too close for some of y'all. Or I might be getting a bit loud sounding with how close I am to it. But I'm using it as a magnifier. The video, just as much as y'all are using it to watch what I'm doing. There is a screw in there, right? Yeah, there is. Alright, let's see here. Now, when I get this opened and slowly cleaned, I don't know. I'm not going to put it under the AC in case it gets leaked on or something. But I'm probably going to put it on a counter or something where it's blowing in front of it. What in Christ's name? I guess there ain't a screw. I thought there was. Now to work with this one that refused to back out earlier. Now that the two are out, maybe it'll loosen tension. Come on now. Shoot. Will it pop out? No, it will not. So let me get this other one and try and see if this will back it out. At least some more. It's in the groove, so it ain't scratching and it don't look like. Let me try to tilt it upside down. See if gravity will help it. It ain't, or it don't look like it's giving any as far as scratching the groove and jumping. Oh, there we go. Took a bit, but I got it out. I can still see ridges. I hope it don't feel stripped because I can still see and feel ridges on it. Now, are there any more screws? Move this lamp closer if I can. There's one right there. I know this is going to be a long video, all things considered. But hey, I never said it would be a easy job for beginners, or a quick job rather. Let me try to back it out like this. Using the smaller one in case the bigger one's too big and scratches the sides of the little tunnel. There we go. Got it out. Let's see. I can still feel grooves. It's not real smooth. There's a bit in it at the end, but I think that might just be part of the screw. Drop it in the cup just to make sure. There are in fact 4 screws. So I've got that good. Now slowly open it, and I drop the screwdriver. Lovely. Oh goodness. Oh dear God. So it's a little button. It should have a little spring in it. There we go. I think, no, it don't look like there's a spring in there. Did it fall out? I don't feel it or see it right here. Let's see here. That might be the reason why the button didn't do nothing. It might not have had a spring in it. And then you've got just a little plastic piece right here. I think that's little contact points right there on the inside, because there's one of them that excuse me, that I have that would one of the controllers that I have, rather, excuse me, sorry, is nothing but just a little plastic joystick. Now, this little divot up here, this little divot up top, according to what I've seen on a couple of videos, is normally supposed to be the up indicator. So it's got little contact points, from what I've heard, where wires on the motherboard are supposed to touch it, apparently. And since the input, now I'm hoping that I can get the motherboard and maybe the contact points with some isopropyl alcohol to hopefully clean off any corrosion or anything. So what I'm going to try to do, bear in mind I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever tried to open up and clean a controller, so I figured the Atari controller would be one of the best bets, seeing as how it is really old and likely needs it regardless. Pretty sure that's, I can't really tell if there's any on it. Yeah, I think that's got some on it. Now, it is unplugged from the console. The console isn't even plugged in or powered. Why am I holding it up? I dropped something. Why am I holding it up to the light when I can zoom in the camera? That's about as far as it can go. Dang it, the dust. Like I said, though, I'm not sure if this thing has been cleaned or opened at all in the past 40 years. 30 to 40. Wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't, because it'd be simpler to just set it aside when it quit working. Trying to go real easy with it. Now if I can clean the inside right here. Gosh, that's a black gunk on it. Let me zoom out. Goodness gracious. Time to get the other side. The Q-tip. There we go. Just had to make sure I got it good. Trying not to touch the wires with the isopropyl, because I don't want to run the risk, if I can help it, of short-circuiting anything. This ain't exactly Johnny 5, so that wouldn't do no good. Props to you if you got the reference. That's gonna make me sound really old. just going slow with it because I don't want to rush it and risk snapping anything. God forbid that I rush it and then snap the wires or the entire setup or something. Let's check the Q-tip, the end of the Q-tip. Good Lord. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it's got clumps of dirt just on it. Now it doesn't look like there's any thermal paste or anything like that on it. Imagine the thermal paste would be in the console or on the wires right here. That's another reason why I'm trying not to touch the wires, just in case there is, because like, you know, the bits right here that are soldered on, really don't want to mess with those and then risk ripping the thing to pieces or something. Okay, will it drop on anymore, or is that as far as it'll go? It's got to be very gentle. So we've still got the cords on it. Set that aside. Get the white joystick middle. Now this one's really filmy and sticky feeling. That's got dirt on it already. Let me just go ahead and get this side. Well, yeah. Actually, let's see here. No, I haven't used that side because it's dry. I don't see any cotton bits left behind on the motherboard or the bottom of the case. Now, I have heard that it can dissolve like oily residue or adhesives. So I'm gonna try not to just drop it back into the plastic joystick cover. Good God, at the dust. Well, one thing's for sure. I'll say I was thorough, if nothing else. Now, I have done a good bit of research into the whole, is rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol actually good most of the sources say yes. Some people have gone as far as to say they actually did wash stuff in water, but make sure to dry it good. I prefer to use 91% isopropyl personally if I can, simply because it evaporates itself generally rather quickly, and on top of that, it's easier to pat it dry the rest of the way once it does dry itself. Sorry, just a bit of gotta get used to reaching with the magnification. Try to get these little, I think they're contact points. There's all kinds of dang dust. Like I said though, these controllers are at least as old as I am, because I can remember trying to play Pac-Man when I was younger. Never did get very far, maybe level 2 or 3. I for sure wasn't none of that level 256 where the dang screen gets all jumbled up on the right side. Now I have heard that this little notch right here is supposed to be the contact point registered to the up position. I don't see any cotton bits on it. So that is the base, the motherboard, the control stick. Now to do the little black plastic vinyl cover thing. Oh, let me get this little shoot and action button real quick. Might as well try to clean it out if I can. Now I am going to try to rewatch where I opened it and see if the little metal bit fell out, or if I can see it before I take it out completely. Because if it didn't it did spring back a bit when I pressed it, but it didn't really do anything as far as jumping or activating any shooting or anything like that. Now, if I did drop it, I can look in the look around and see if I can see it with my flashlight, since the light would shine off of the spring potentially, hopefully. But if it doesn't look like there is one, I might could try to take one out of these one of these other joystick controllers and see if they work better. I know I might sound like I'm a bit too loud or going too slow or too close to see it good for some people, but you're not exactly the one doing the cleaning, are you? I'm trying to go slow so that I don't rush and risk breaking anything. I'm going close with it so that I can actually see what I'm doing on account of my trouble seeing finely detailed things. And I'm talking through it a bit to more or less try to keep myself calm so that I go slow. And I know I'm going back over the same spots. But hey, a little extra coverage never hurt nobody when it comes to cleaning. Well, unless you've got extra rubbing alcohol and a bad scrape or a skin mark, that might be a bit painful. But this ain't exactly an open wound. And I still do not see any cotton bits left behind, so that is very good. Now I think I'm going to try to let this rest for like a night, like the rest of tonight, and see if it might, see how dry it is in the morning. Almost dropped the screws. Set the isopropyl alcohol down. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, there are still 4 screws. Which I honestly did not expect them to be that long for an Atari controller. Let me see, can the motherboard go down any further? I think that might be all of it. Trying to be careful with it because, like I said, don't want to run the risk of snapping the wires. They still look good. Well, I'm going to let this sit here overnight, and then I'll put it back together, and then I can do a video on if it works or not. Well, so let me see if there's anything under it that would be blocking the way. Shoot, I'm trying to... Okay, yeah, I think that's the best way. Heck, it might be the only way to put it through. There we go, line it up better. There. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I guess that would be 4. Dang it. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get it back in better position. Oh, okay, there it is. Right there. 1, 2. Oh. 3. Dang it. Now, come on. There. I guess I could try to go ahead and put these screws back in place. to hold the motherboard in, if that's at all doable. Come on. Shoot. You know what? I'm just gonna wait because I don't want to scratch it up. If that. So, leave it there for tonight. And then I can work on it tomorrow, or at least work on putting it back together tomorrow. All right then, I'll record myself putting it back together and testing it tomorrow, and then regardless of if it works or not, I will put the video up on YouTube. Sorry. Y'all have a good one though. Back with y'all tomorrow sometime. Alright, so I actually did a rewatch the video of me opening the controller. I didn't see a spring fall out, so it may not have been in there. So what I actually did, I'm going to show you here in a bit, is I opened up another controller and took the spring from it and put it in the one that I was going to originally try to repair. Or clean, rather. And it is a noticeable difference of what does have the spring and what doesn't. Y'all may not be able to hear it on the video, but I will show y'all. Now, I just need the lamp to see good. Now, this one in front of me, now they don't have any screws put back in them yet, because I was going to try to record myself doing that. So I've got to keep the bottom on the table for now. This one is the one I took the screw out of. There isn't really, or keep it on the bottom or keep my hand on it. There isn't any clicking from the spring or any give. It's right about level with the case. And even from this distance, I think y'all can see how the other one, is it not? I guess it wasn't loose. How the other one is a good bit off level with the surface as far as a little bit above it. Now the dust on the little vinyl cover and the rubber socket right here, I think I can get that just a quick wipe down after I put it together if it works. Now this one, if you can hear it, if you can hear it, there's a good bit of response from the spring inside. You can hear it clicking as it compresses and contracts. Now I'm hoping that it can actually detect it better after I gave everything a good wipe down and let it sit there and air dry for like 12 plus hours. Because it was like 9 or 10 last night when I worked on this, the first one. Alright. Hang on. Sorry, my dang back has been sore. Let's see there. Got me a screw. Bear in mind, as I said earlier, in case the video didn't pick it up, I think this is the first time I have ever really consistently tried to move my hand under a magnifier. Alright, let's see if it can screw back in. Now, almost flipped it over. This is the one that doesn't have the screw. So I can test and see, or doesn't have the metal spring. So I can test and see if it will screw back in good. I'm not planning on trying to use this since it doesn't have the screw and it is not the one I was trying to clean in the first place. Just to double check. Yeah, this is just a click. Put my hand on the bottom. Yeah, this one has a more spongy give. And I can hear the spring a little bit. Yep, there we go. You click it just right. If I click it just right, I can hear the spring. So, we know that this is the one that does not have the spring. I'm not trying to tighten it like I'm using a dang impact gun for automotive work or anything. I'm just trying to get it hand tight and make sure that it closes good so that it won't cross thread, it won't break off. Now, seeing as how it's a tunnel like this, it's difficult to make sure it doesn't cross thread, so I'm essentially just going to have to go off of best guess that make sure that I try to put it in as straight as I can. So that's tightened. Like I said, not trying to tighten it like I'm Superman or anything, just trying to get it hand tight. So, this one's good. Come on now. Oh, no, hang on. That's the one that has it. Wanted to double check. So, drop it in. I think that's going to be as good as I can get it. Come on now. May have to drop it back out if I can, and I'm afraid it may have pushed in. Well, that's just grand. You know what? I'm going to try to work with this one and try to drop in all four before I do any screwing back in. That way I won't have any that push it in and get it out of line, God forbid. And to make it easier to see what has a screw. Okay, that's in. Stay. Now, the second one. So that has a screw. That has a screw. They're both dropped in. Now, it doesn't look like they have pressed or put or wiggled out of line. I'm trying to drop these in as evenly as I can. Let's see here. I hope I ain't. Dang it. If I'm missing screws, I know that all four are in the one I'm trying to clean and restore. So this is number 4. Alright, there's 1, 2, 3. 4. And just to double check, still has the spongy give with the action button. And I can still hear the tick of the spring if I use a little force to mash it down. So, all 4 look to be in evenly, or as close to evenly as I can manage. Don't wiggle out on me now and cross thread or anything. Please don't. I'm not trying to put this back together to resell it. I'm trying to put it back together to see if it works better. So please go in decently enough, and please at least try to work with me on this and work better. That is all I ask. I hope I don't have to do any Warhammer style blessings to the machine spirit or anything like that. Because of course, if there were a machine spirit, of course there would be one in the console and then one in each separate controller. Alright, so this one is going in. It isn't having any brick walls of resistance, so I don't think it's cross-threaded. Just try to hand tighten it. Alright, that might be as good as I can get it. I don't want it to risk ripping or getting so tight that one register movement breaks it or anything strange like that. Alright, that's good. Now let's check this one. Now bear in mind, this is screw number 3 going back in. Now, as far as the other one that I took the action button out of, I'm going to pull the one screw back out, take the bottom off, and then carefully grab the second screw, and then I'm going to retry doing like I am with this one, where I drop the forend before I screw anything in. Double check this one. That's going to be good. Now it's this one. Just try to tighten it until there's a good bit of resistance, because as I've said a couple times, I don't want to run the risk of cross-threading and snapping. Now to test it, hope that is still loose. Okay. God forbid I put it back together without tightening it as much as I can, and then it falls apart mid-gaming session. I might have to tighten it enough that it can't tighten anymore, just to ensure and double check that it is in fact tight and will stay on. Okay, so that side seems to be good. Now to work with this one. Trying to go slow. So that I don't rip it. I think that might be as good. I think that might be good, rather. Last one. Come on now. Okay, so that one is there. Please don't have gun moved. I done tightened it a good bit. There we go. I got some purchase. Just try to keep it slow so that I don't jump like I just did. Trying not to jump over the grooves too much and flake off bits of metal. Let me get this slightly smaller one. There. Alright, I think that's as far as it'll go. Let me try this one. That's as far as it'll go. This one. That's it. And this one. Come on, gotta find the groove. There. That's it. That is on good. Using a little bit of force. And it's still springy. Still some give, and I can still hear the tick of the spring a little when I hit it right. Alright. That was the screwdrivers that you heard fall. I can pick those up. Now, I'm going to edit these together and see about posting it on YouTube, and then close up that second controller, and then y'all can see me hook this up with Donkey Kong, Pac-Man. Excuse me, got the hiccups. And we can see if it works or not. You know, I'm hoping that it does. But y'all have a good one. See y'all here in a little bit.